2017 클래시 로얄 크라운컵 글로벌 시리즈 코리아
순위 결정전을 통해서 먼저 올라가서 결승전 자리 하나 딱 가지고 있는 게 정말 중요하다고 말씀드리는 거예요.
와 이거 진짜 첫 번째 매치업부터 난리 났습니다. 박빙의 승부, 박빙의 승부, 박빙의 승부였습니다만 윤겔라 선수 3대 0.
3대 0으로 용겔라의 진짜 포스를 뿜었습니다 그냥.
결국에는 윤겔라.
네. 프라이머신 오블린턴도 예상을 하고 있었을 텐데. 대형석 공작이
대형석 공작이 선수가 3대 0으로 깔끔하게 승리 가져가면서 플라이머신 타고 런던 가겠어요. 이러다가
진짜 가겠어요. 중앙지옥스러운 그런 모습을 보여주지 못했어요.
아 이거 터지죠. 대형석 공장인 그야말로 파죽지세. 윤겔라 잡고 나서 제일 위에서 기다리는 거야. 올라가야 하는 길이 굉장히 먼 차슈덕보 아까 중앙지옥입니다. 이미 윤겔라가 가운데서 떡하고 버티고 있으니까요.
Welcome to 2017 Clash Royale Crown Championship Global Series Korea. Today we have the semi-playoff and the playoff, just two best of fives, but these matter a lot because these top four players, I guess X-Bow's already up there, so top three, but that doesn't
It doesn't
count
sound as good as top
X-BowMaster,
four.
but X-BowMaster already on top in the final, so he will not be playing today, but we have Gala, Jung, and Chashu, and we'll be starting with Jung and Chashu. All
There's
best of fives here.
X-BowMaster in the
There's
audience.
X-BowMaster. He wants to sneak in and watch all the matches live with his own naked eyes to see what kind of strategies they will bring to the stage tonight.
Yeah, this is a scouting mission for him. Is making sure that he knows exactly what these players are doing today. But honestly, after 6 weeks, it is all coming down to today.
It is really coming down, and they brought lots of strategies, but today I feel like from the beginning, of course, we'll have the overview and this and that and everything, which we always do, but I want to put this down from the beginning because they will do lots of the same stuff, but just like what X-BowMaster did last time, like bringing the newest card into the tournament, Flying Machine, having some new strategy that they have never played before, I think that's going to be the key to go up in these playoffs.
Well, I mean, it really does depend because you do want to play your comfort cards, right? You want to play your comfortable decks, but also everyone knows what your comfortable decks are after 6-7 weeks of games, so you do have to bring something new. Our first set of matches then is going to be Chasu Jungang, and the winner will then play Yungala for today, and then next time we will have the final match.
We'll have the finals, best of 7 actually. X-BowMaster versus the winner of our second match tonight. So it's going to be the grand finals. X-BowMaster, he's actually the youngest player in the tournament, and with the lowest trophies sitting on top already.
Yeah, no one expected him to be at the top. Like, a few people were expecting him to be somewhere in the middle. Like, they didn't really expect him to progress out his group either.
And only 2 more days. Playoff tonight's the playoff, and grand finals next week. And it's Saturday here as a recording time when we have so many people at the venue, as it's a lot easier to come during the weekend.
Yeah,
And
make sure that if you are in Korea to come down and come visit the studio. We start at about 4 p.m. Korean time.
And here comes the Hog Rider money, the coins, the bonus coins.
So this is what they're playing for today. 1.5 million won is for second place. So whoever progresses today is guaranteed to get 1.5 million won, more than any other of the players today.
It sounds big, 1.5 million.
It is
not
big.
dollars, not one. So take three zeros out basically
Roughly,
to
yeah.
change it to dollars roughly, and there you have it.
Yeah, but the winner today is guaranteed to get an extra 1.5 million. As you said, about $1,500. But that means a lot to most of these players.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and you get everything. It's not a team game. You don't share it with any other people. You take everything. You take everything that you earn, and they came all the way here from the qualifiers, from the round of 8, from Group A and B. They got through the groups and they are in the playoff. Even these players, Chashu, who we thought actually would never be defeated at first because he was just rolling with his golem deck so hard. But after a little balance patch and after some changes, he actually lost a lot at the very end.
Yeah, so he hasn't won a game since the second week, I think. Like, that was the last time he won. He lost to Zebra, he lost to X-BowMaster, and then he loses to X-BowMaster again. Like, he lost so many games. And really, you don't want to be on a losing streak coming into the playoffs, do you?
Yeah, of course. And these two, I believe they are still very good friends in the game and outside of the game too. They play a lot. They scrim a lot against each other. They used to be in the same clan. And maybe they're still in the same clan. Maybe after tonight they won't be in the same clan. Who knows what's going to happen?
Well, unlike Chasu, Jung actually came into last week's game on a winning streak. He beat Jun, he beat Gala, he beat Hemosu, but he ended up losing his games.
That's right, of course. After the decider match, losers match, we didn't have one because it doesn't matter here too much. But let's get to hear about the players before the match
준비를
happens.
엄청 많이 했어요. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5세트하고 이기고 또 1, 2, 3, 4, 5세트까지 다 준비를 해왔는데 그리고 제가 광부를 배대가지고 겔라님께서 벌룬 덱을 쓰지 않을 거라 생각했는데 그거를 잘 이용하신 것 같아요. 겔라님께서. 마우스를 그냥 빨리 없애고 통나무를 굴리고 막았으면 어찌어찌 막았을 것 같은데 타워를 저도 똑같이 쉽게 내주는 바람에 아쉬운 부분이 좀 많았던 1경기였습니다. 3경기 같은 경우는 딱 0대2로 몰리는 순간 갑자기 이게 쎄하더라고요. 제 선패도 약간 꼬였고 원래 3총사를 쓸 생각이었는데 갑자기 덱을 바꿔가지고 썼는데 오히려 그게 더 안 좋게 된 것 같아요. 독하고 골렘을 보는 순간 아차했어요. 이거는 많이 힘들구나, 졌구나.
3대 0으로 용겔라의 진짜 포스를 뿜었습니다, 그냥.
저 스스로도 많이 아쉽네요.
한 판도 못 따고 3대 0으로 져가지고 좀 안타깝습니다. 배석장 선수 만나보니까 좀 잘하시는 것 같아요. 1경기 상대가 무덤을 막기 수월한 베이비 드래곤이나 아처 같은 걸 가지고 와서 제가 이제 무덤 칠 거라는 걸 예상한 것 같고 마지막 경기는 이제 기블린통을 제가 썼는데 카운터로 걸 수 있을 정도 플라잉 머신이 거기 상대하기 좋거든요. 그래서 플라잉 머신 갖고 온 게 좀 좋았던 것 같습니다.
이번에도 역시 3대0.
1, 2, 3세트 중앙지옥스러운 그런 모습을 보여주지 못했어요.
저와 중앙지옥이랑 우리 이겨서 승자전에서 만나자 딱 이랬는데 쌍둥이같이 둘 다 3대0으로 져가지고
떨어져서 패자전에서 만나게 돼서 아쉽습니다.
대회에서 3번을 만났어요. 이 악연인가 싶기도 하고 이렇게 4번 만나게 됐는데 이번에는 꼭 제가 이기겠습니다.
평소 연습했을 때도 제가 6대4 정도로 이겼으니까 이번 경기에서도 3대2로 이길 것 같습니다.
Well, it is time for another match between these two players. They met so many times in multiple tournaments, but it comes down to this. And if they go up and if they win 2 more matches after, they're going straight to London, boys.
Yeah, London is the end goal for everyone here. The money is nice, but that trip to the World Finals is arguably way more important than
You get to meet
anything else.
all the players around the world, the best players around the world. It's X-BowMaster who's sitting here and smiling. He may be the one going to London. Who knows? Maybe Jung, maybe Chashu will have a surprise, have an upset, just go through the entire playoff and go straight to London.
Yeah,
and
but
become
neither
the-
of these players had a good showing last time they were out. They both lost 0-3,
Yes,
and
that
honestly,
was a tough one.
yeah, they were horrible matches for both of them. There were games where they were hard countered. There was at least one game in each player's sets where they were outplayed, and it must be disheartening. But at least they can come here, play against each other. They're gonna have a good time. They seem to be really good friends, and they will be playing. They might get a confidence boost. After
Yeah,
this.
that's the thing. One of the biggest problem that Jung had to face was. Oh, I was talking about Chashu, but the screen flipped. I was about to talk about Chashu. Chashu, he brings a lot of golems, and even when the Elixir Collector was not banned, he had that in there, but it was countered so hard with the rocket all the time. And it seems like that's the way to go. And if Chashu cannot make his signature deck into a win, then that's a big problem, and nothing else worked. That's why he lost 0-3 straight.
Yeah, Chasu just has not been able to have the same sort of success that he had.
Oh.
Ooh, giant ban.
Okay. Okay, Elixir Collector was very, very expected coming out from Jung. Chashu used lots of heavy decks, so Elixir Collector, of course. But a giant. I feel like... Okay, I feel like that he actually wants to use some X-Bows tonight. Giant is a good counter, in a way, to have a very, very high hit point, so the X-Bow actually targets the Giant all the time.
But still, like, there's other cards that you could put out there, right? Like, there's a lot of other high tanks. Ice Golem, there's Mega Knight.
Yeah,
you
there's
have
the
all
Lumberjack,
those big
there's a Sparky.
Yeah, so there's so many things you can put there instead. Banning out the Giant seems to open up way too many areas to play, right? Like, you can play, like, after banning Giant, the only thing you cannot play is a Giant deck.
Well, let's see. I think he wants to show that he wants to bring some other type of heavy. Maybe he wants to go quickly, like Hog Rider, Mini P.E.K.K.A. just go straight into damage to the tower. Or a Prince?
Well, it looks like someone prepared a Giant deck and now has to change it. I can't see whose side that is. I think that's Jung actually prepared a Giant deck. It is worth noting that both these players know each other very, very well.
Yes.
So maybe it was known that he was going to bring a Giant deck and thought, you know, he actually beats me with that. Let's change it around a bit.
Oh, Jungang's ready already. That's what he is. He has no Giant. He says, well, Giant wasn't in my deck anyhow, and I'm ready. I don't need that 3 minutes.
Yeah, but it's always good to take that 3 minutes and just take a look at your decks. Think about how you're going to play. Oh, Giant replaced with the Golem there.
Ooh, Chashu actually had the Giants in his own deck. Well, oftentimes I try to do a lot, and it's actually pretty tough in a way.
It's, I don't know, like, when you ban cards, right? You want to ban, you don't want to ban the main card. You want to ban the support cards. Like, you ban the Elixir Collector, which takes out Golem decks. It takes out Three Musketeers decks because it is the support. If you ban the focus card of a deck, you open up way too much extra things. So by banning Giant, he's banned Giant decks, but he hasn't banned out X-Bow decks. He hasn't banned out, like, Inferno Dragon decks. He hasn't burned, like, even Logbait is still available here.
Yeah, there has to be a secondary reason. If it's that simple, if you want to use the X-Bow, that's why you ban the Giant. Instead of going around, oftentimes just banning the X-Bow is the right answer. If you try to go around, there must be another reason, few other reasons. Maybe he knows that his opponent likes to use the Giant sometimes, and when he makes his own deck, sometimes Giant becomes a big problem. Because these players know each other so well, I think that's a snipe ban there. Well, 3 minutes goes quickly, Simon.
It does.
And I think we're ready to jump into game number 1 of the first playoff match. Here we go. Jung versus Chashu. Game number 1. Here we go, Chashu on left and blue bottom, and Jung on the right, on top.
Yeah,
Let's
so
see if how long they want to wait this one out.
Yeah, but both players are going to wait for that magical 10 elixir mark. Hog Rider, Ice Golem coming down. The Mega Minion here is the only defense. There's the Tornado. Is it going to hit the... It hits the Crown Tower.
The ground.
Oh, Jung.
Ooh, does take few hits though, so that's a good news, but I don't know if I would agree. I would be liking that situation for Chashu.
No, that is not a good situation here.
Uh-huh.
Like, having that extra tower for defense is going to make it so hard for the Hog Rider to push in.
Oh, here comes the Infernal Dragon. Oh, but the graveyard is great. Wait, but the poison on top and the poison on top.
Yeah.
So much poison here and there.
Hog Rider again pushing that Ice Golem in front of it, and the Tornado pulls it out into the middle, but it's
Nice
still going to get...
but
it didn't get a hit.
thing is, the Infernal Dragon does not get the connection onto the tower. Nicely done by Chashu there.
The Ice Golem being back in the rotation there pretty much saved Chasu, because if that Infernal Dragon connected, it would have done probably about 300 to 400 damage.
We are, I would say, about even, actually better for Chashu in a way, because he's got that King Tower activated already.
Yeah.
And when he had the great, I think Jung also may be having his own graveyard. Let's see a little bit more. Maybe just having the poison to deal with.
Yeah, both players, I mean, Jung here is holding 2 cards back, so one of those is probably going to be Rocket, right? But there, oh, Bats.
The cannon card, here it comes. Hog Rider actually pulled away so far.
But it doesn't get a hit again.
Not a single hit. But
what
this
a counter here.
Infernal Dragon is dragged away by the cannon card and the Ice Golem. Not Ice Golem.
It was Ice Golem.
Oh yes, Ice Golem.
Are you okay, buddy? All right, Mega Knight is the final card from Jung. So now we see both players' decks. There's also a cannon card here. Cannon card does counter Mega Knight pretty well.
Ooh, this heavy push, and the Hog Rider wants to touch on that tower, but it's
Gonna get one, not 2 though. And this is back and forth, but Chasu's doing such a good job defending, but he's still behind.
We're down to 10, and we will hit the overtime very soon. Comes Graveyard again, but I believe Jung has that poison spell available. Not yet. Seems like he doesn't. He doesn't want to drop it yet.
Yeah, with the Mega Knight defending, he doesn't really need to waste that 4 elixir on his own poison. He can use it on the offense, which will take out the goblins. It'll take out the Mega Minion. It'll take out the Ice Golem. It'll take out everything, which we are seeing right now.
Ooh, the Hog Rider needs a lot more
It's
damage.
gonna
There's
go for
1.
it.
There's 2.
And
The Mega
done.
Knight jumps on it too. That's game. That
Wow.
seemed pretty hard though. What a first game for these 2 players.
Yeah, Jung did so well on his attacks, and his defenses were almost perfect, but you gotta feel for Chasu. Chasu did everything he could to stop the pushes from Jung, but he just couldn't do it in the end. Like, there was just too much pressure from that deck, and he didn't really have anything going forward.
Yeah, those tornadoes actually were well used, I've got to say.
Perfect.
All the time, but the push and the amount of force that Jung had was just too much coming in. The tornado was not enough. If tornado paired up with the poison, if it was not actually used along with the graveyard, maybe it could have been a better defensive tool.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it sounds like it would be good because you're pulling them and you're keeping them inside the poison. But when you've got the Hog Rider can survive poison quite a while. Like, you had the Mega Knight. He's not going to really take too much from the poison. He's not going to go down straight from it. He could have used something else, another area, like a fireball. Or even a rocket would have been a good choice to put inside that tornado, and he would have took out the Hog Rider much quicker.
Yep. Let's see. He has decided that the poison tornado was not too effective and did not use it anyway, but still, the push from Hog Rider was just way too strong and too quick. But we are ready to jump into game 2. The minute is up. They got their time to change their decks. Let's go right into game number 2. Here we go. Jung leading the series right now, best of 5. But let's see if he wants to keep that Hog Rider.
So the Ice Golem comes out. It does look like it might be the same deck from Jung. Ooh, Executioner, so it is different. Chasu shakes his head. Maybe he wasn't expecting this deck to come out.
Ooh, I think Chasu actually has the same deck here.
there's another cannon card. This is interesting. Like, where is this going? There's a baby dragon.
Which is the same from game number 1,
Yeah,
but the
so-
cannon card is a big change along with the executioner. Let's see if Chashu has something like maybe it's something like a minion horde or something, because the executioner takes a good damage out of everything.
Yeah, Executioner is such a good card pushing forward. The double area of effect damage that it does is so powerful. But yeah, definitely Chasu has bought the same deck. Jung changed his deck, but did remember to bring that poison just in case of graveyards.
Yes, a single poison just deals with that graveyard. Perfect counter to it. And he actually brings his own graveyard this time.
Is there a poison from Chasu to help defend this? It doesn't seem like there is. He's trying to tornado those skeletons into the tower, but it didn't quite work. They got taken out too quickly.
And also, even with all those air units on top, skeletons actually did some damage to the tower.
Yeah, I mean, Baby Dragon and Mega Minion, it sounds like it should be good, right? You got a single target and an area of effect, but the way the graveyard works, it just doesn't work out that way.
Oh, let's see what else he wants to drop on. It seems like graveyard is not the perfect way to deal with. Oftentimes, Jung is having the perfect one. Tornado?
Doing nothing. That was a bit of a waste. He completely whiffed it. And now he didn't take that much damage, to be fair. But down comes the poison. He was holding the poison on the defense, but didn't use it, interestingly, in the last time. But
he wanted to make it as offensive as possible. Actually, he does.
Takes way too much damage.
From
even
the Mega
with that
Minion.
Yeah, even with that poison, he still took too much damage from that graveyard.
If you let any unit in Mega Minion.
Chasu's hand is up.
Seems like he has some issues, but still the game is going on. The tornado is working. The poison is not dropped at the time. Let's see there. The units are pushing in. The Mega Minion is going right in, but does not catch, does not connect onto the tower.
Yeah, but it looks like Chasu's not doing anything. We're going to wait for a referee's decision on this. But in comes the push, takes it out.
Well, that's game 2, and we had some device issue coming from Chashu at the moment in game 2. But because of how the game was slightly favored for Jung from the referee's decision, he will take game 2, and that makes it a 2-0 here.
Yeah, despite the weird ending, the game result still stands. We will have Jung taking the victory. I don't know if I agree. I think it should have been a regame, but that's just, I'm not the referee. The referee has decided. We cannot argue with the referee, otherwise he'll send me home.
Yeah, the call.
So I can't argue with the guy.
I don't know if he has that much power, but okay.
Wait, is this not football? Like, I thought he'd just come up and give me a red card. I have to go to the dressing room.
Yellow first.
Not
and
for
then
disrespecting the ref?
An orange, and then the red, okay?
I can tell you're a football knowledge.
So you got one strike there. Okay? Going full sports here. But now, Chashu, I feel like he really has to change his deck. He cannot be just keep using the graveyard. Jung will know what the next card will be. Oh, so he's going to do the same thing? Yeah. I can predict, actually, what's going to happen later on.
He's on such a bad losing streak. Like, he hasn't won since he beat Ido in week 2. And everything he has done since that game has been non-Golem games. And he is not winning anything.
All right, the time's up. And they have to be ready. I feel like this could be the last chance from Chashu, best of 5. So if he drops one more, he is gone. He will be eliminated from the playoff, and Jung leading the series 2-0. Let's go right into game number 3. Here we go, game 3. Jung, even after winning, well, the trend for Korean, lots of Korean players, when you win, you don't change. But when you lose, you tend to change. But after a while, since the patch, and from lots of players that won the matches, like X-BowMaster and even Jung, they tend to change even after taking a win.
Yeah, it seems that the strongest players have been changing their decks, whereas the weaker players, like the Idos, the Chasu, like, I don't want to say Chasu is a weaker player, but he's not looking his best right now. And those type of players tend to stick with their decks. For some reason, it's working for Jung now, but when you're the best, you have multiple decks to play. And we're in a bit of a stalemate here.
Let's just count down. 6, 5, 4, and another 60. But this seems we had a couple of these games happening, and it goes down to last minute or a few seconds before the last minute. You just want to drop down to some kind of building, some structures to have some units going along the way. And then you want to make your maximum push. That's how you use your heavy deck in a way.
It needs to be kind of a bursty deck. You need to be able to take that tower down as quickly as possible and not worry about a defense. And the problem with that is it's a bit of a dice roll.
It does, and this feels like, even without the Elixir Collector, it feels like, oh, there's a taunt! Is Jung going to respond? He does respond!
Chasu's having a little bit of a giggle to himself.
All right, it's about time. I think he's brought his favorite. It's time. The Golem. He says, good luck. He knows the time's almost here.
And here it goes. Drops the zap to cycle through. He probably should have done that a little bit earlier, but it doesn't matter.
There's the Golem from Jungang, actually.
But Pekka out from Chasu. Whoa, this is going to get tasty.
It's going to get massive. It's going to be massive. There's a baby
What else?
dragon.
Chasu needed to drop something a few seconds earlier there. Like, you don't want to waste any time when you have the chance.
Is the Electro Wizard going down? Actually, does not.
Oh,
but
tornado! That's going to deal so much damage. This Pekka is trying to take out that golem as quickly as possible, but does Chasu have anything to defend these golems that are on his tower? And the Mega Minion. Oh, there's the Electro Wizard taking out the Mega Minion and the Baby Dragon.
Nice delete. Yeah, but Jungang already off to another golem here. Electro Wizard actually doing some damage, down to 2054 on that.
Yeah, Chasu already drops Pekka. Hog Rider in the other lane, though.
But is it going? This is a big risk. The poison may not be enough for all the units coming in. Yet there's a tornado.
That's a really big risk.
The golem does connect. Hog Rider actually did not do too much from the goblins onto the other side.
It's gonna be close. It does look like Jung does have the advantage here, but it's
cannon card, do the maximum damage. Actually,
is it gonna be enough? No, it's not yet. But it does look like Chasu might be in a very, very sticky situation.
And
he puts the Ice Golem and Hog Rider the wrong way round.
The moment he does, he realizes he made the mistake there, and the Golem is slowly crawling in. He knows his destiny here. It may be the end. He drops down the Electro Wizard 4 now.
But that's
the minion
not
going to the other way.
enough.
He gave up, and that's going to be it. Game over and the end of the series.
Jung advances to the next game where he's going to face Youngula, but Chasu, unlucky, he's going home. But honestly, after his performances in week 1 and probably half of week 2, he shouldn't feel too down on himself.
Yeah, that too. He is top 4. I mean, he's one of the top 4 Clash Royale players in Korea.
Yeah, that's nothing to sniff at, is it?
There are lots of Koreans in Korea. It's insane. I don't know how many of them play Clash Royale, but whenever I'm on the bus, all the students play Clash Royale. So I'm guessing about like 2 billion Korean students play Clash Royale. I mean, he's top 4. That's how good he is.
I have no idea what to say about that. It is true that this game is incredibly popular for students, though.
And
not
just for students, like on in the metro, like all the older
old
guys. All the old guys, even the ladies, they were playing some a COC or Clash Royale. Either one, I see a lot. Like I do want to like bump into them. It's like, psst, I also play Clash Royale. But that's kind of freaky, so I never do it. But I do spot lots of people playing on like all the public transportations here.
Let's bring it back to the set. Let's get from this. But honestly, another 3-0. Since we've reached like the the knockout, the elimination rounds, it's been 0-3, 0-3, 0-3, 0-3.
That is true. Lots of 3-0s and 0-3s. But here's the result, and I think from game 1, it did not go perfectly as how he planned for Chashu. Of course, he should have been very expecting the Elixir Collector ban. I mean, he was ready from the very beginning after looking at that ban. He brought the Tornado Graveyard, but was it the right choice, Simon, to use the very same one for going into set 2?
No. It didn't work at all in set 1. He shouldn't have even thought about bringing it in set 2. He should have tried something completely different, but he just stuck with the same deck, and that ended up costing him this game, I think.
I think if he actually used the last deck into game 2, I think that could have been a good counter against the Executioner, the Graveyard, and all that Jung actually brought into game 2. So that's the kind of choice, and this will be
A replay of the last game.
Yeah, replay of the game 3. He's holding the P.E.K.K.A.
I'm still not sure.
So much APM.
Oh, this is mad skills in the old APM department. But
and fast forward.
I'm still not sure about dropping that Hog Rider on the other lane. I think that did cost him the
I
game.
think he wanted to race for it eventually because Hog Rider, of course, just with the Ice Golem actually does take out the entire tower. If you let it just set free.
He messed that up, didn't he, in the second game? Like, I think here he should have dropped the Hog Rider, but he didn't. But I don't know where it's hard to diagnose because Baby Dragon was out. That would have mopped it up pretty quickly, but you'd have put Jung on the back foot. Maybe it would have been worth it. Like, P.E.K.K.A here takes it out, but he doesn't even touch the Baby Golems.
This was a nice start by Jung there. The Golems actually, the big one didn't get to it straight to the tower, but getting some damage starting off. And the second one has been crawling from right after. So
yeah, and he has the cannon card pushing that Golem forward just a little bit faster. And the P.E.K.K.A kind of gets nullified really quickly with that Tornado. And he can't even get anywhere near. I think he was hoping that the P.E.K.K.A would turn around and start going for the Golems. And that, sorry, the Goblins. And that would have been GG right there. That would have been completely game over.
yeah, of course, he had lots of units. Even the Baby Dragon could have done a lot more damage. He realized by this at this moment with 555.
Yeah.
He says, "Wow,
So
man."
far behind. He
Yeah,
had
this
no
was a
chance.
big
And
mistake.
yeah, that was such a mistake there. Like, Chasu just didn't seem to play Clash Royale. He was trying to play something else, but like, I just don't know what he was thinking. Like, his mechanics this game were so weak.
It was very weak compared to everything else that he did in his first day and second day, when everyone thought, lots of people, including us, we thought, okay, Chash is one of the strongest players in this tournament, but he dropped out already and he will be eliminated. So that means that Jung will be going up versus Gala very soon.
Yeah, and that is another knockout match. The winner of that match will go to the final. The loser will finish third place.
Yep, it's a quick day tonight as we have just 2 best of 5. And the first one's over, but the second one is coming up very soon. Gala versus Jung, best of 5. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We have match number 2. Well, the winner of match number 1, Jung versus Gala. And they are ready to go. As you can see, X-BowMaster, he doesn't even clap. He has no time to clap. He has to prepare his strategy for the grand finals. He's here to watch all the players here.
Yeah, he's just sitting there watching his friend play. I think he was giving some coaching lessons, actually. Like, you know,
I would
little
like to
something
get
on
some
the side.
coaching.
Yeah,
on
let's
my
bring
deck.
him up. Let's bring him over here, and we can learn how to play from the master.
Yes, I do love X-Bow a lot, and he can be my teacher. And I'm willing to learn from him.
But
Yes.
this game, we're going to see Gala versus Jung. As you've said, they have a bit of history. But in the last 2 times these guys met, Jung beat Gala, and Gala beat Jung. So they're 1 apiece each. But going on form, Jung actually has a little bit more momentum. He's won more games in his last 5 than Gala has.
And the thing is, Jung did play 3 more games before coming up here, but it was a 3-0. I feel like he didn't really had to show 100% of him. He maybe it was just enough for him to just show maybe 80%, and he won pretty strong. He was dominant in 3-0.
I don't even think he showed that much. Like, he never looked pressured. He never looked stressed. We've seen him quite a few times look very, very stressed out, but during that game, he just looked chill.
Well, let's see. Jung has been using a variety of decks. Maybe that was a strategy that...
Oh, Gala's had a bit of a hair change.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a week and a half here.
Yeah. Gala looks pretty good as a blonde. Not as good as me, obviously, but he looks pretty good. And the band's in already. Mega Knight and Barrels.
I like this Mega Knight pen. Super, super a lot. Like, this Gala does not use too much Mega Knight compared to X-BowMaster, I would say. X-BowMaster actually likes a lot more, but Gala, when he's losing, he tends to bring his comfortable deck, which has Mega Knight oftentimes. So he wants to target that ban and maybe try to have another 3-0 here.
I don't think this, like, out of these 2 players, I don't think either of them are going to go down without kicking and screaming, right? So I don't think this one will end 3-0. But banning Mega Knight, as you said, it's a really intelligent move.
Well, let's see. Last time when they played each other, when Gala played X-BowMaster, he was banning X-Bow, but he was using not too many. Lots of graveyard, some giant musketeers. So Gala also does like to use variety of decks. He does not really stick with one deck, which is the same for Jung. I think it's all about the mind games right now after looking into that ban. No barrel, no Mega Knight, so I think we're going to see a lot more miner and lots of poisons to go along with all the graveyards.
Yeah, I think the barrel ban, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's worth banning out barrel in this kind of situation, because we haven't seen many log bait decks at all. And as good as barrel is, I don't think I would have banned barrel here. I'd have banned something a little more like an elixir collector, or maybe even graveyard and poison. Like, ban those cards out. It just doesn't seem like a good ban.
Well, Gala was actually the one who used not too many, but some barrel decks. So, I mean, he has been preparing for... He had lots of time. He had week and plus probably 9 days or more to prepare for tonight's match. So
Well, both these players have had 9 days, so...
But
I don't know if he's been watching. Maybe Gala has found out some secrets about Jungang's play, but I don't remember Jungang using many barrels to any great success. Like,
well, that's also after watching the first game. I mean, we saw no barrels coming out from Jung. Maybe he just knows something that we don't know. Maybe they have scrimmed each other. Maybe they have a scrim partner who would actually share information. So he's like a spy for both the players. Who knows? But that barrel ban may be a smart move when he's thinking about, like, maybe I don't have a log. But let's say Gala doesn't bring the log. Log is a very good counter against the barrel all the time. Maybe a zap is just enough. He doesn't really have to have log and the zap or something some kind of other spells in his deck together.
I mean, I can kind of agree with Log. Like, if you don't want to use Log, you do ban out the Goblin Barrel, right? But again, like, is Log really worth
Also
aiming your ban around?
kind of forcing Jung to play a Miner or a Graveyard. So I think he has everything sorted out. Just thinking about it, if you can just counter those two, then you're pretty much set with those small pushes coming in. But of course, he did use a big giant push like the Golem in Game 3, some Poison Graveyard, but also Mega Knight, which is now banned by Jung himself. So we'll see lots of interesting decks coming out from both players. 3 minutes are up. They are ready to go. This is the playoff. The winner from this match goes straight to the finals against X-BowMaster. It all starts right here. Game number 1, Jung versus Jungela. Here we go. Jung in blue on the bottom, Jungela in red on top.
As we can see, the trophy count is a little bit different. Actually, getting 6,423 trophies is incredibly difficult. But
Here comes the Giant, which was banned by Chashu. So Chashu definitely had some intel behind the Giant ban, but
so this is
well
the deck
defended.
that Chasu was actually scared of. And so far, it seems to have kind of worked.
Yep, the Miner actually took out the Elixir Collector pretty well. So I would say it's a better trade for Jung, of course, did some damage to the tower.
Yeah, and even more damage with those minions connecting. And I don't know, that was a bit of a weird start. We haven't really seen any Giant in the Korean Global Series, right?
Only few, very few to counter the Expo somewhat.
Drops down his own Elixir Collector. So what do you think is taking up the most Elixir then? 3 Musketeers? A Golem?
Let's see, here comes the Miner from Jungela this time.
Drops a Night Witch in retaliation. That's really good. And zaps out the bats. What else? What is that last card? That last card needs to be heavy. There's the Giant and the Night Witch again. Such a good combo. Ice Spirit there will connect. Jungela brings out the 3 Musketeers. That's a very powerful play
But
at
the
this
Giant
point.
is connecting, and even the Minion is doing some damage. Did a good amount of damage, actually. The Bandit will charge into.
I can't see why the Elixir Collector was played by Jung. Like, he doesn't have anything that heavy.
I think he just wants to have the cycle. Of course, Giant is a lot lighter compared to anything like a Golem or P.E.K.K.A, but still, with the Night Witch, with the Miner, he wants to distract, he wants to attack both sides. I think that's his idea here.
It could be that he just wants to stay even. He doesn't have anything that could instantly kill the Elixir Collectors. So bringing his own Elixir Collector allows him to stay very, very even. Drops the Giant on the opposite lane from the 2 Musketeers. That's a pretty good move. Drops the Night Witch behind, but the minions too. I don't think that Giant is going to reach the tower, but saying
this
that,
push from the right side, double that Giant push. That's the getting.
there's
That's
a
the
Miner. This is such a strong push by Jung.
3 Musketeers are there, but the poison is dropped. The
dropped
Giant
too,
is
and
doing
it's
one more
going
hit.
down!
That's going to be not the game yet, but 17 seconds and so much HP left for Jung. He knows that he almost took this
This
one.
is a powerful push coming out from Jungela, but it is all down to this push. He doesn't have time to create another one, so if this doesn't do the job, it is game over.
And that's how Jung will just take game number 1. Bring that
Wow.
Giant, not as heavy as Golem or P.E.K.K.A, but still does the job. When you have that quick cycle with the Elixir Collector, getting some value, even with the Miner from coming down from Jungela, it was pretty late sometimes. And he actually got, I wouldn't say 100% of the value, but he actually got the Elixir boost. He had enough to get the double Giant on that ramp onto the right side. What a play coming out from Jung here.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of in love with that deck. I thought the Elixir Collector was a bit weird, but thinking about it, I think it was just to keep up and make sure that you do have a lot of Elixir tempo. I don't think this is a type of deck that would work on the ladder. Oh, hey, buddy. Nice of you to join us. But yeah, as I said, I don't think this is the type of deck that would work going forward too much, right?
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe he'll just bring the exact same one once more. But
I really liked it. I think
I liked it too.
It was a beautiful deck for a tournament.
And that explained why Chashi banned a Giant when he was going against Jung in match number 1. And of course, Jungela, Chashi and Jung, they screamed a lot at each other. But Jung, I'm pretty sure, never mind. Jungela, on the other hand, he had no idea that this was coming.
Yeah, I mean, we can see why Chasu banned out that Giant now, as you said. And honestly, that deck is so niche. It's so good as well. I don't think I would use a Giant in this kind of situation, but Jungang just brings it out. He made it work.
Jungela's attack were a little bit late, and this deck was a strong one for sure with the 3 Musketeer. But the thing was, he didn't have anything else to delay the push coming in. Not too much. He has some tools, but not too much. That's the thing. And the push from the Giant was just insane, pushing in all the time.
Do you think Jungela will change much in his deck? Do you think he'll go for something very different? I mean, that's the type of player he is, right?
Well, we had both minors coming out. I think we may just see new decks coming out from both players, but they're ready. Let's jump right into game number 2.
Alright, so here we are, set number 2. Jungang in the blue on the bottom, Jungela red on top. Both players waiting for that magic 10 elixir, and nobody seems to be making much of a move right now, so we might have the...
That was the thing, Barrel is already banned, and we saw a minor here. Jungang, okay, Executioner. I think this is the Graveyard Poison that he used last time. There's a minor and the bats, if that connects, that...
Tornado's the bats out the way. I mean, that kind of shows that Jungang doesn't have much anti-air, and Jungela has that balloon coming out, the Goblin Gang as well. Tries to distract them, which he does manage to do with that Ice Golem.
But the bomb actually does the damage onto the tower a little bit. Balloon did not get a direct hit. It did not connect to the tower gladly. That Mega Minion was just enough for the defense.
Is 500 HP worth 1 elixir advantage? That's the question.
Yes.
Jungang is, yeah, I would say yes as well. Jungela drops out the P.E.K.K.A. And besides the Goblin and the Mega Minion, if that connects, it's going to deal a lot of damage. But the Executioner there just destroys the bats insanely quickly.
And that's exactly why he wants to bring in some more units here.
P.E.K.K.A. drops before reaching anything. This is a good push.
Ice Golem delaying the attack just by a little bit, but it will only delay.
As well.
Oh my, this Executioner is getting so much value. This is insane, actually.
And the cannon card directly hits that tower. It's going to deal so much damage because he's going to go into that mode. Is it going to be able to take the tower down, though? I don't think so, but that is so close. And Jungang's tower is almost perfect. There's a graveyard as well. That should be enough. The P.E.K.K.A. dropped to try and negate the damage, but I don't think it'll do the job.
Even the Goblins, yes, use the Zap to protect his towers there.
Jungela is in such a bad situation right now. There's a cannon card. It's hard to call. There's a balloon and the miner on the opposite side, but the Executioner comes down. He should be able to take out the balloon before it deals too much damage. Oh, Tornado!
Use the Tornado. That's, I think, all he needs to protect his own, but this push is now incoming. That Jungela balloon down there was the game-changing move. He wanted to change the momentum a little bit.
The Graveyard gets one hit. The Poison is dropped down as well. Takes out the Goblins. That Graveyard and Poison's going to be enough. Takes out the tower. No,
we had 4 seconds, but everyone knows, and the production knows, we know that the game was over. What a play we're seeing here. Jungela was waiting all this time, but Jungang just bringing the crazy upsets, I would say.
I mean, I was not expecting Jung to go this far ahead. Jungala has so much work to do to stay in this tournament. And honestly, Jungala was one of the favorites at the very, very beginning of this tournament. Jung is making him look kind of weak.
Yeah, first of all, Pekka not landing on that Executioner or even the Ice Golem that was coming right next to it was huge because that Executioner was, I believe, half damaged from the very beginning when he was crossing the bridge. He got all the bats down, all the goblins down, and everything was, he just got so much value. And at that moment, Jungala was kind of panicking, just dropping everything that he saw as soon as he had the elixirs available.
Yeah.
But more he dropped, he was losing even more elixirs for himself.
Yeah, I mean, Jungala brought a very good deck. It looked like it looked like it had venom. It could have taken the game. But unfortunately, Jungang's deck was just so good, and his defense was just inch perfect.
Yeah, even after the cannon card, he wanted to continue the momentum, not slow down, put down that graveyard right after. And he continued that and basically made Jungala to put down the Pekka again. When Pekka was supposed to be his biggest tool to go in for the maximum attack, he had to use it defensively first of all. And when he has to do that, then he does not have the momentum, he does not have the elixirs. Well used, well controlled by Jung. Basically, he was dominating since that moment, since that Executioner survived for such a long time in Game 2.
Yeah, one hit from that Pekka would have killed it. One hit from the Pekka would have done so much damage to the Ice Golem, meaning that push wouldn't have dealt so much damage. That Pekka not hitting changed the game completely.
Oh man, but Game 3 is ready. Jung leading 2-0. Jungala may be dropped after this game. This is insane. Best of 5 here. Jungala needs a miracle to come back here. Maybe a start of a reverse sweep. Let's get into game number 3. Here we go, 2-0. Jung leading this series. That's how we took it off Chashu. 3-0. And another 3-0? Going straight to the finals? I mean, X-Bow's watching in the audience right now.
Oh, it looks like we've got the giant Night Witch deck again. I'm excited to see what he can do here. Will Jungala be able to counter this deck? Because it showed that it was so powerful in the first game.
Seems like Jungala's keeping his Game 1 deck, Three Musketeers.
Oh, the luck missed!
Actually, it does miss, but he has to use a zap once more to take care of everything else. But the good thing is Giant is actually connecting 2 straight hits, and the Mega Minion does so much damage! This is insane! Down to 333!
Where did that come from? I don't understand. Like, you're looking 1 minute and you think, oh, Jung missed the log, he had to zap. Next thing you know, Jungala's defense has just been ripped to shreds.
This is the thing. He did not put down the Elixir Collector from the beginning. Maybe he never had that in his hand with the starting hand. And putting down that big 9 Elixir and basically getting countered by that Fireball.
Yeah, it was such a good play by Jung, but he's ripping ahead of Jungala here. I was not expecting this morning.
Well, let's see. There is still room for him to come back into this game. I mean, 333 is very low, but still needs at least 2 or more spells to take it out.
It's such an uphill climb for Jungala here to be able to even think about taking this game. What does he have?
So I think this is the biggest wall that he has to climb here. Ice Golem is just not enough.
Laughs in the face of the Three Musketeers. And what can he do? He has an answer for pretty much everything that is in Jungala's deck, but Jungala doesn't seem to have much of an answer for anything himself.
Jung has a maximum defense here. It's incredible how he's defending every single move that Jungala is doing. He has been doing so much. This is the thing. 9 Elixir by that Fireball. Basically, 6 out of that 9 Elixir is gone.
Yeah, and that Fireball is doing such a good choice here.
Jung, he knows that he got this game, and all he has to do, there's a healing
potion.
spell used.
Oh.
Actually, the miner doing tons of damage, but there's not enough. Minion Horde comes along, doing some damage to the tower now too.
This might be enough to at least bring
He's
us level.
stretching this, but there's the log and the fireball and the
the
zap.
zap.
He wants to finish this game, and that's how he does it. 3-0. He had all those spells available.
Jungler's out. That's it.
That's
It's
it.
done.
3-0. What a crazy series. Match number 1 and match number 2. Jung being so dominant in the playoff.
I mean,
And look at this, he's not even happy. He's not even happy. He's like, of course. Like, I should be in the finals. I should be the one going to the London.
I can't believe he destroyed Jungler so easy. He made that look like this was a qualifying game against someone with no fingers.
I mean, when they versed each other last time, it was a full series many times, and now he's a changed man here. He can basically make everything work. His defense is insanely effective against everything.
Honestly, I don't know where this Jung has been all my life, but this is some of the best Clash I've seen. He has been so precise, so dominant today. He made... I can't say anything. I'm actually speechless. Jungler is out of the competition. Jung advances to the final, and if I was X-BowMaster sitting in the audience today, I would be scared.
And also, this is the best way to advance into the final, showing the least amount of strategy that you have prepared for tonight. He can also save some that he didn't. I'm pretty sure that Giant deck was his key card coming in. Notice how I kind of mentioned, it's kind of weird, like I'm talking about myself, pointing out things, but I said like you need some kind of like key decks, key card that new strategies coming in, and Jung really made that work here with the Giant. Like it hit super hard against Gala tonight.
Yeah, and I can like. We were kind of thinking it was an odd choice banning the Giant by Chasu. Now we see why. Oh my god, such great Giant play here. And Jungler just couldn't seem to stop it at all.
And that's the thing. Giant is also a very good counter for X-Bow. And X-BowMaster should be realizing that I'm pretty sure he has a bunch of strategies because he's the master and he's already sitting on top here. But Jung just going straight out of the playoff, going straight to the finals, advancing there. I'm pretty sure if I'm X-BowMaster watching those games live at the venue as an audience, I would be feeling, okay, this guy is pretty good.
I honestly am very, very worried for X-BowMaster. He's been one of my favorite players this tournament. He's so enjoyable to watch, but Jung today just made Clash look like a solved game. Like, this looked like tic-tac-toe for him.
Oh, let's see. I think this is game 1.
Yeah, this is game 1 when he used the Night Witch Giant combo. And, again, the Elixir Collector looked a very odd choice. But he used it to keep up and dealt with that miner so easily.
That's how he really started to get the value here. And those Giant pushes actually landing good hits. There's nothing really, not really too much for Gala to delay the Giants coming in. I mean, if he had some kind of Ice Wizard or Electro Wizard, yes.
Yeah.
Then
Anything.
Giant actually becomes so slow that it never gets close to the tower.
I think if he had have put his 3 Musketeers in one lane, when he found out there was no Fireball, I think he'd have dealt with the Giant much, much better. But again, I'm not a pro player here. There must have been a reason, because like, and then the double Giant, like what can you do against that? That
And
Giant
that's
is
the
hitting
thing.
the tower.
And also the poison just doing so much damage to all the units, including the tower there. And basically at that moment, the game was over, you know. And all he had to do is defend this push coming in, and no charge from the Bandit as the Night Witch has just dropped down right next to her.
Yeah, and that was it. That was murder, she wrote. Like, that is game over. Jung's play was phenomenal. Everything in this game was designed to just be perfect.
Yep, Jungang's play tonight was just phenomenal. It was incredible.
There's no
crazy,
other words.
Amazing, beautiful Clash Royale. I would say.
I think phenomenal is still the best word out of
Yeah.
all of those. Like, this is some of the best Clash we have seen in the last, what, 8 weeks? 8 episodes?
Let's say 8 years. Just to make it more interesting.
This is the best play we have seen in the history of the universe.
Yes, and that's it, boys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Chasha dropped 0-3 against Jungang, and he advanced to the playoff, where he defeated Gala again 3-0, and he advanced to the grand final, best of 7. So this will be a real fight between the strategies and the mind games, what kind of strategies they would bring. I would say at least prepare 7.
What is
At least
7 decks? Like, you need so many decks to go into
Of course,
the
a lot
final.
more because there will be a ban card. But here we go. The grand final between Jungang, the 3-0 victor from tonight, and X-BowMaster, who has been watching it live all night.
And X-BowMaster is on a roll. He hasn't dropped a game in a long time.
Oh, this is a big final match, and I literally cannot really expect anyone to win. I think X-Bow still has a pretty good chance, even though Jungang looks incredibly strong after tonight. X-BowMaster's mechanics and how he defends with all those structures, even some Tesla, bringing the new things like the flying machine sometimes. I think he still has lots of strategies in his pocket, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, Jungang has had to reveal a whole other day's worth of strategies today. Like you were saying, like he hasn't had to show that much, but he has. He has showed the Giants. He showed, I forgot what else. Like, he's just showed quite a few decks today. He showed at least 6 more decks than X-BowMaster has.
Yep. And that actually wraps up for tonight's broadcast with 2 best of 5. That's the playoff, semi-playoff, and with Jungang just advancing straight to the finals, we will have a match versus X-BowMaster, but we will be back with the grand finals. A lot more Clash Royale action coming from Global Series Korea.